Goes.
No, I literally learned on the job. So my thing is that I didn't, it's like I just kind of done it without thinking, and in a way, without that fear, or it would never have been done.
So it was a child in you.
Yeah, like there was nothing on TV that I could relate to. So I was trying to make something that I'd want to watch. And so Growing Pains was born.
Hello, welcome back to Conversations with myself, Francis Koh. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we have another exciting show, which I'm very much looking forward to. We've got the one and only filmmaker, Tash.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
We had no choice.
But no, I appreciate it.
No, thank you for coming. You actually said, can I come on the show? It's like, oh my gosh, Jay said, we got a filmmaker contacting us. Let's make this happen.
No, I saw Femi and Bushkin.
Yes.
Then I watched another one, White Yardie. And
yes.
I was like, I like it. I like the way you had the conversation. It didn't feel like, and I like to learn about other people's journeys. So yeah. I thought, let me see what you're saying about me, and here we are.
Well, let's say your journey. Yeah. As a filmmaker, first and foremost, what got you into filmmaking? So my journey didn't start in film at all. Yeah. I started literally in sport. So I was a coach. I wasn't academic at school, and I just went with what I was good at. So it was sport. I did it in GCSE, college, uni, and then I got my first job in a gym. And then... Oh, what gym?
It was Queen Mary University gym. So it's in East
sports
London.
Queen Mary makes sense.
Yeah. So I was just like there, just doing my job. And then even my manager, I think he saw that I was like, everything I do in sport, I excel in. Like I'm really good at most sports. And then after that, he was like, maybe we should go to the next level and start training athletes. I was like, yeah, cool. He encouraged me to go uni again and get a master's. And then after I did that and I qualified...
So you got a master's?
I got a master's,
yeah.
Came back, carried on my job. My job's very flexible. I trained the athletes at the uni, and then I started to coach West Ham United ladies, developed more, and then did GB basketball squad, the girls under 15s, and then I found out I was pregnant. That's when life took a turn. So when that happened, I couldn't coach as much and stuff like that, and then they kind of replace you real quick. But I continued to, work up until I had her, and I was writing on the side. It was always like a passion of mine to write, but I didn't know what to do with it. After you write a script, what do you do? So it was just collecting dust on my laptop. And then just before I found out I was pregnant, I was like,
You do know the script and the laptop can't collect dust. I'm just...
No, well, basically, I was like, what do you do? Like, I don't have a camera. I don't have a crew. Like, what do I do? So just before I found out I was pregnant, I was like, I want to try and make something. So I was like, how hard can it be? I'm going to get a camera and I'm going to do it. And I actually put out something on Instagram and I said, if you want to be in this web series, come down and audition. And the line was insane. And I was like, oh my God, I'm actually doing this. But after the auditions, that's when I found out I was pregnant. So I had to tell the cast, we've only got 6 months. 6 months to get 10 episodes.
So let me take you forward. So at this point, you put something out on Instagram.
Yep. Loads
of people showed up.
Yep.
Did you have a budget?
No.
No budget?
No.
At all?
I would say I really went into this naive. Like I was really like, if I'm transparent with people and tell them I am new and up and coming, I want to work with like-minded people, let's do it together. I literally did get that. So people were willing, they were new, I was new, we just came together and we made this web series. But I did say I went into it naively. So I was like, how important is sound? Well, it was very important. But at the time, I didn't care. I didn't have fear. So I was just going with it. And we was out there guerrilla style in East London. And there was like fight scenes and there was a gun in one scene. And then the police turned up and I was like, what's wrong? Like, we're just filming. And so I learned along the way that there's certain things you've got to do. You've got to tell the people.
So who was directing this film? You?
It was literally...
So you knew nothing about camera angles?
No, I literally learned on the job. So my thing is that I didn't... It's like I just kind of done it without thinking. And in a way, without that fear, or it would never have been done.
So it was a child in you.
Yeah, like there was nothing on TV that I could relate to. So I was trying to make something that I'd want to watch. And so Growing Pains was born, and the cast was great. They were as hungry as me.
How many cast members?
So I would say about season 1, there was about 7. 7, and then as I was filming, I think people were seeing us on Instagram and saying, "Oh, could I get involved?" And I was like, "Yeah, come on!" Like the more the merrier. And I was just like, everyone was on this bus, and then I was like, just figuring it out. But so season 1, we had 10 episodes, right? 10 episodes, about 15 minutes each, and I'd done it just before the baby was born.
But you had the whole script written beforehand.
Yeah.
So at least that was your blueprint.
Yeah. But the plan was like, you know, being a new mum as well, everyone was like, well, when you have a baby, you won't have time. So I thought, oh God, well, that was my career. That was quick. But then when she was born, I was like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, I've got childcare. She's got a dad. I can do this. So we decided to do season 2. And that's when things started to get a bit more like, okay, now we know the mistakes that we made in season 1. Let's get the sound sorted. Let's get better camera angles. Let's get a better lens. And I learned on the job. And obviously through YouTube comments.
Yeah. Yeah. So season 2, was there a budget?
No, there's no budget.
That's amazing.
Just me.
I'm only asking that because a lot of people, when they want to do something, the number one thing that stops them is, I don't have money.
I get that.
Let me go to work. Let me save up. And before you know it, 4 or 5 years has gone on. And they haven't even achieved anything of what they wanted to do. So for you just to say, I'm doing this, no budget, that is impressive.
Well, you learn that as you're, you know, as I've been on the process, that money is important, and to make like high quality stuff, you do need money. These things came later on. So I'm only on season 2 right now, right? Yeah. So season 2, my daughter's born. I'm like, okay, we're going to go again. Now more people come on our bus, come on, you know, and then there's a bit more of a buzz the second time round. The second season is my favourite season. I feel like the storylines were better. I was in my stride. Again, like I still had no fear at this point. I was going, and season 2 is the season that someone DM'd me and they said, I can get that on Amazon Prime. I was like, oh, I've seen these scammers in my DMs so many times, like, yeah, whatever. And I was like, yeah, okay, if you can, fine. I carried on with my life. About maybe 4 weeks later, they came back and was like, I've done it. So I was like, okay.
Done what?
Yeah, done
you scammed
what?
it, check
like
my
the
account.
Scam, yeah. So I went on and it was actually there. And
so hold on. So it was on Amazon Prime
and YouTube.
Before you even knew?
So they approached me, and I had put it on YouTube already.
Yes.
They approached me and said that they can put it on, and I didn't believe them.
Okay.
Because that seems like such a big deal. That's like someone coming saying Netflix, like after Amazon, Netflix is just the next natural step, I would feel. So someone to tell me, someone that's been doing this, at that time it would have been 2 years, that they can put my web series, a very rough around the edges, raw and gritty web series on Amazon Prime. It felt like this is a scam. It wasn't a scam, they did. And from there, people then take you more seriously.
So now Amazon are paying?
So now, you're on Amazon and you do get paid. Like, so wait, you know that there's 2 options. There's a pay and there's a free version. So that was on the free version. So they could just watch that for free. That was fine.
That's good for your portfolio.
Exactly. So I didn't even care. Money, like at this point, money would be great, but money wasn't the be all and end all. It was more about, just getting exposure of the show. From there, I then went to like channels and I was DMing and emailing loads of people trying to get it on TV. My thing is that I wanted to come off the internet. Channel 4 did get back to me at one stage just before COVID, and they called me in and I had a meeting with the development team over there. The development team were really, really cool. They said they liked the show. They got the vision. Obviously, it was a bit rough around the edges, but they got the vision, and it was like an uncensored Hollyoaks. Now, Hollyoaks is my favourite soap. So I was gassed.
Did he just jump up?
I was gassed. No, I had to act cool in the meeting. I had to act cool. But it was like, that was great to hear. So they were like, can you contact some directors? And then we hit COVID. So it's not like we could meet in person. So I contacted one of the directors and he agreed to have a Zoom with me. The Zoom was during the week, and I remember laying my daughter down next to me and putting the camera just off her, and I thought, just give me an hour. I made sure it was during her nap time. I had it all sorted. She's gonna sleep, I'm gonna be here, we're talking. And then towards the end of it, she started crying, and I was like, oh damn. And then he was like, do you have a daughter? I was like, yeah. And it's not that I was trying to hide I had a daughter. I was just trying to be professional. Yes. But you've got to juggle when you're a mum. So it is what it is. And she started crying. He said, you've got a daughter? I said, yeah. My daughter isn't well. And he was just like, and you've done so much with, And I said, yeah. And he said, I like you. I like your drive. And he was like, the best way to learn is to come down and shadow me and assist me at EastEnders. And I was like, what?
Wow.
I thought this was Hollyoaks. He was like, I'm not at Hollyoaks at the moment. I'm at EastEnders. I was like, that's great, because EastEnders is closer to my house.
Yeah.
So I'm gassed. I'm like, yes, I'm ready for this. But Corona kind of made it a bit difficult because you have to be a certain amount of meters away. It wasn't the full experience that I probably would have had if it wasn't Corona. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've had some experience on EastEnders. We were filming Christmas last year.
Yeah.
But you don't film it at Christmas. You film it like 5 months before Christmas. Yeah.
That's amazing. So this is...
Sorry, I know. Seems like
let's go back to when you first developed your writing ability and skills.
Okay.
Can you remember that?
So, do you know what? I must have been about probably 18. And I think my writing started... Because you think that your life story... It's gonna bang. Like, everyone must have written their life story. So I went to a girls' school, and there were so many stories from my peers, my circle, that it just was entertaining to me, just living it. So I was writing it. Growing Pains is actually my childhood in the girls' school. But because at the casting I didn't get many girls, I got more guys coming. I had to change the characters to men, which meant a lot had to change. So it isn't exactly how I wanted it, but Growing Pains is my baby, and it is what it is.
Do you find that more women are less inclined to come to the front line of the acting world than men? Because I find wherever we do things, we get more male, like let's do this, whereas as opposed to females, slightly reserved.
I feel like in my DMs, I would say it's 50-50. I do feel like when it actually comes to it and I say come down, women don't turn up as much. I don't know why. I never really thought about it before, actually. It's true. Women flop a lot more for some reason. I'm not sure why. So
for you then, if we talk about that, for you, what is it like as a female director in the industry working with so many male-dominated actors? I do feel like you have to be louder. Like, I'm not a loud person, so I struggled initially. Like, silent on set. You have to get there. You have to like command the respect. You've got to dominate the situation. I feel like when I've been in certain situations, I've been hired to direct, a male would come over and be like, they want to co-direct, and it's like, why do you think why do they get to co-direct? I can do this by myself. I've done it for a few years now. So how do you get that across? So the projects that I've been hired for, it's not mine. So in the last couple of times, I've had to co-direct things with people, which is fine, but I do feel like the males do dominate. You do have to really command respect, and I feel like as I'm doing more stuff independently, you naturally get respect from your peers. So going forward in 2022, I'm sure I'll get a lot more experiences where I'll be able just to direct by myself. But everything I've done, most of them have been co-directed by a guy. That's amazing. It's a bit frustrating, a little bit. What does that say?
Do you know what I mean?
Do you think the industry is ready for females?
I think it's ready. Are they willing? No. I don't think they... I don't know what it is. If it's change, if it's they I don't know. It's really weird. I think like there's some great talent that is just being not seen. I think people like to recycle the same talent. And I think it's time now to change that. And I'm going to command that. I'm going to go for it. And I'm not going to stop. So people will see my name regardless. And
rightly so. I mean, why should you stop? I think the beautiful thing about your story is you just went for it. I mean, a lot of us wish we could do that. I mean, let's go for it. Forget about the money. Excuse me. Forget about this. I just love it. I'm doing it. And the money will come. But with you, you find out you got a baby on the way, and you still carried on. Yeah,
I honestly feel like the first 2 years of doing it, the drive that I had, I didn't have anything to lose. I didn't have a job. Like, this is it. This is my job. I take it seriously. You have to network. You've got to. It's a business. You have to learn the business side. And I think everyone forgets that. I think people just see now, they just see me at like an event and think, oh, it's fun. Like, no, there's work that goes into this whole process. The writing, the casting. Like, I work independently, so I'm by myself majority of the time. To write something, get the cast, and you don't have money at this stage unless you self-fund it. Like, I did a film 2 years ago, so Corona's kind of messed me up. So it was like 2 years ago, and I got funding for the first time. I thought I was rich. I thought I made it. Like, oh my God. And the money that it takes to get a DOP, to get light, sound, that money went within a second, and I was no longer rich. But the film came out looking great, and it's the best film I've actually produced. And even now, like when I go out, people don't really they keep bringing up Growing Pains,
But that's your baby.
Yeah, and you know what? Growing Pains was a great space for me to play around, like a playground. Like, it was every year I was able to go back and see what worked, what didn't work, what kind of storylines banged and what didn't. And but I really want to make content about social issues. So
is Growing Pains done?
Nope, no, it's not. I'm gonna bring it back into 2022, bigger and better.
Any casting there?
I mean, you can come in if you want.
Say that, please. Please, one more time.
You want to be like a gangster?
Not
extra.
Don't make me an extra.
It's okay. No, we can definitely find you something.
I don't want to be a gangster because I'm not.
That's the whole point. You're acting, and you're quite dramatic. Can you imagine? I feel like you're more like a pastor.
He wants to be Francis.
Can I be Francis?
No.
So I've got this idea, right, in the film, right?
Yeah.
So if we talk about gangsters, right? Let's say Growing Pains, let's say they're going through whatever they're going through, and they need to speak to someone, a therapy. Can I not be the therapy? Sitting down in a chair.
Yeah.
This could be even the set.
It could be. It's a nice set. It could work. We'll talk about it. See how we go.
When these directors say we'll talk about it, that's not a good sign, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
No, what? I mean, I'm here. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
Happy about
you know what? You want me to be a gangster? I'll be the gangster.
I mean, to take you. In fact, you might be the best gangster because it's completely not you. That's acting for you.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna need this.
We'll talk. Now I'm saying we'll talk about it.
No. That means no. It's cool.
So you said one of the things that a lot of people don't understand, like when you go to events and things like that, is the business element of it. Talk to us the decision that you went through to say, okay, I got a child, I need money, money's not coming in, I love what I'm doing, this is me, and I'm going to take it full time. How did that come about? And what said, you know what, I'm just going for it?
Okay, so my daughter, she's disabled. So I wasn't able to go back to work. They cut me out of my contract, and I was like, this is the first time I've been unemployed in my whole life. I was like, okay, it's cool.
So that because you had to take time to look after your daughter more, they slash your contract?
Yeah, it was a bit harsh, yeah. But they I was in a contract, I was meant to go back, and I spent a lot of time in the hospital with her, and they wanted me to come back sooner. I couldn't, so they ended my contract.
What was the name of the company?
I can't name the company.
You can't name and shame them.
I can't, unfortunately, but...
Shame on that.
It's all right. It is what it is. It's cool. Do you know why? Because life actually, like, honestly, I've been somebody who's a creature of habit, like 9 to 5, you know how much you're getting paid. As soon as that happened, it opened my eyes to, like, you can change the direction of your career. I never thought 3 years ago I was in a gym. Now I'm an independent filmmaker, and I'm actually more happy than I have been. You know, my lifestyle now is so much better. I'm enjoying it. I'm able to meet people like you.
Thank you.
Did you see the grin? And then like when Corona hit as well, I think Corona really made me sit and think, what do I want to do? What kind of direction? Because before Corona, I think I was just on this kind of conveyor belt of like doing Growing Pains, doing a short film, coming back to Growing Pains, doing a short film. And Corona made me think, okay, I think I want to move into television. So that's where the conversation with Channel 4 was really, it came at a good time because that's the direction I want to go in. The internet is great and it's very saturated though. And you get a good feedback, and probably the people that watch my stuff are more likely to be online. But can I write something that can cater for a 9 p.m. slot on a Thursday night? Yes, I can. How do we get there? So this is where you've got to learn about the business. So you might have the best ideas. It doesn't mean that Channel 4 are going to be like, yeah, that girl there. It doesn't work like that. You know, do you have an agent? You have to talk to production companies who have great relationships with those channels. It's very complicated. It's not straightforward. You email and you might not get replies. There's just a lot to it.
So we go back to the saying is who you know.
Sometimes I do feel like in this industry, it's about who you know, being in the right place at the right time. I've met a lot of great people, and don't get me wrong, like you can even put something online and it goes viral, and then people come to you. I'm at the stage where like I'm gonna work, and whatever is for me is for me. I know my goals and I'm gonna work towards it, but I think just being consistent, being a good person, and just doing you is going to open doors.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think that's what a lot of people lack, consistency. Because we look at this person, oh my God, he's doing amazing. Mm-hmm. And then I want to do what that person's doing. Mm-hmm. 2 years, 2 months, it's not happening for you.
But that's what I mean about being like even patient. It's this whole game is not... It's not overnight. It's literally, you know, something that you might film for TV, you'll film it tomorrow and it won't be out for 2 years. The development process is very long. If you do get a development deal, there could be changing your whole show. The show that you went to them with, it will not come out the other side like that, because you have to think, is it marketable? Does it have this? Does it have that element? There's a lot to it. And my thing is, I'm very passionate about ownership. If I get a development deal based on my show, I don't know how much I'm willing to change. But you might have a deal on the plate. Do you stick to your morals, or do you go for what they're saying? They want to change it and make it purple. Originally it was black. What do you do?
So once that does, ownership gets out of
the control. Yeah. Mm. So do you give away this control just to be on that platform or in that space? I don't know. I feel like these days, especially like recently, you've seen a lot of our content more on like Channel 4. There's the ZZ Mills Unapologetic. There was that Black Day, black to front. Black.
Yeah, front black.
Black to front.
Black to front.
Yeah. Like that was an amazing day. That was only a small portion of what we can do. You know, I still feel like they recycled a lot of the talent. However, it made me think, you know what, there is a space for our content.
For someone like you, who's in the industry, because we talk about that particular day, because everyone spoke about that day within our community, mm-hmm. and you in the industry, how hard is it, honestly, do you think, for us to put up our own permanent channel?
I think
that we can sustain it.
Why hasn't it been done though?
That's why you are in the industry.
I mean, I feel like it's difficult. there's something. There's a reason why.
But someone could tell you that what you did before you even made the first episode of Growing Pains, someone would tell you that was difficult.
Yeah.
And look where you are now.
It's true. I feel like it's coming though. Like, I think that day highlighted a lot. And so potentially maybe it's coming. I feel like, I don't know, our content, I'm not sure. It's a good question. It hurts my head when I think about it, actually. But I'm sure it's on the way.
I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, I believe it is. And look, like shows like channels like BBC Three are coming back. I feel like a lot of our content goes on BBC Three. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
I don't know why. Why is it like on the 3 part? Why can't it be on the BBC One? You know? It's just like things like that. And if it is on BBC One, it's on like 11 p.m. Do you know what I mean? It's just annoying.
Listen, at least we're on 11 p.m.
But you see what you're saying? At least that we have to accept crumbs.
I think...
See, we're grateful for the crumbs. It's not cool.
No, see, that's the thing. In order to get something, we have to first infiltrate. So if we're going to be on at 11, it's fine. We'll take 11. Mm-hmm. Then we're going to push for 10.
9.
That's so we can't just go straight from nothing to 7 p.m.
I mean, why do we have to accept that? It's not cool.
Because it's not our game and it's not our world and it's not our vehicle. If we realistically, if we want to be prime time, as I said, let's have our own channel.
Yeah, I agree. I would love that.
You know, so if we want to be BBC One, whatever this channel is, we have to respect that's their channel and it's the same now. Let's flip it. We got our own channel network booming, and a different person wants to come in. Would you give them prime time?
I want to say yes, but probably not.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't. Okay,
Yeah,
so my thing is this is what I was saying before when we were talking, that I feel like a lot of our community make hood films. Now,
yes,
hood films are very popular in our community. However, we all say on Twitter, I'm bored of it. I'm bored of it. I heard it so many times. I say it, but that's the type of stuff that we support so much. When we do a romantic film, a horror film, it doesn't bang. We don't get the same support. Why? So it's similar to being on BBC One. We'll have to change the cast. You think that the cast can be black? No. We have to change all of them 5 people that you had as black to white. And that's what I mean. It's like, do we change to fit in, or do we just try and make our own? And it's that fine balance between wasting time and being patient.
Wow. Yeah. I don't even know. Yeah.
It's just some of the things that I think about, you know.
I say, let's get our foot in.
And then
1 foot in. And
change.
Once we're in, because we know what we're capable of. They know what we're capable of. Subconsciously, though, and this is going to be so controversial.
Oh, God.
Do you think they actually realise what they're doing? As in, we keep them out because we don't want them in? Or they're keeping us out because it's created for them and their talent's already on show?
I think they keep us out, probably because of what our content is about. I think it's about what it's about. A lot of our stories are about trauma, about guns, drugs, gangs. Do they want that? Probably not. I just think it's about our content and what it represents, and it's not something that they feel is great.
It's changing though, because you had that lady for please, you should know, the one that, yeah. It's changing. My content is changing, and I think, like you said, supply and demand. When we go back to hood films, why do hood films bang? Because we look at the audience.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna write something for my people, for one, they have to relate to it.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why it bangs. That's why hood content bangs. I'm a fan of it. I truly am, because it allows people to. It creates jobs. It showcases talents, and they can move on to other platforms. But as you said, I would like to see more other titles. You know, romantic, vulnerability, horrors.
Yeah, there's loads that we could do. I just think it's easy to write as well because we've all experienced it probably somewhere in our lives, brothers, cousins.
And it's easy to market.
Yeah, it is. I just think we have to change the narrative at some point. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy it. I do. I just for me, if I've got a goal to be on television, I just know that isn't going to get me there. So I just have to play a game where...
So for you, it's very interesting because you've got a goal, you know where you're going, so you follow in the footsteps, which a lot of people would wake up, I want to be on TV. They have no goal, no plan. Mm-hmm. What would you say to them to tackle that lack of planning?
That's what I mean. I think, first of all, putting stuff out just for the internet, like YouTube, is a great space. Let me say that again because it gave me a lot of feedback. I was able to, you can interact with people a lot more. That's your place to learn what works, what doesn't work. And then with everything you do, you just get better and better. My first season of Growing Pains compared to now would be it'll be night and day. Do you know what I mean? And so for anyone that's trying to get into it, I'd say just study and figure out, try and make the best quality that you can. I know that when you don't have a budget, it's really difficult. I think people... They kind of understood my vision. They kind of were very attached to the characters and the storyline more than what it looked like. They saw through that. Yes, people did comment on YouTube and that, but they stuck with us. Consistency also helps. So I think you've got to be consistent. Don't just think that the first thing you put out is going to go viral and then you've made it. No, it takes time. You know, but don't get me wrong, you might put one thing out and it might go viral. I think as well, timing is everything. So maybe right now, BLM, something about racism, might be hot to do. Think of what kind of times we're living in at the time and maybe do something like that. It's always nice to have a known person, a celeb in your work. That also helps. You've just got to... Everyone has a method of madness and... Yeah. You've got to just figure out your own. For me, I'm just organically just making content and then I meet people along the way. And if at that time our paths cross and their schedule's free, then fine. I was lucky enough to have Lisa Mafia and Judy Love in my film. That doesn't happen all the time.
Lucky enough? I don't believe so.
No, it's just that at the right time when I was filming, they were free and they believed in my vision.
They just happened to be free.
No, I mean,
it's your talent.
Yeah.
Your talent. And the universe got you. The universe really, really, really got you if you go after your dreams.
Yeah.
Tell us about Tash. Who are you? What makes the lady behind the camera?
What about me?
How did you get into it? What do you like doing?
I mean, like I said, sport was my life. Yeah. And I'm really good at a lot of sports. I really am.
Favorite sport?
Probably now Olympic weightlifting, probably. Yeah, I competed. That's what I mean. These things I had to learn in order to train athletes. So during your exam, you have to learn that.
But the thing about sports, what a lot of people don't understand, I think this is why you're doing what you're doing so successfully. Because I did sports science.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Sports is not just sports. There's so many elements to sports.
It teaches you discipline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Management, business element of things, timekeeping, working with people.
I definitely think that the fundamentals of being part of a team, like when I used to play football, it teaches you, it's true, timekeeping. You have to work as a team, as a collective. You have to be on time. You've got to eat right. These type of stuff, they give me the fundamentals to do what I'm doing now. When I wake up today, I don't just, I'm going to watch TV all day. No, because filming is my life. I have to write treatments, pitch decks, you're emailing, you're trying to find cost, you're trying to fill out funding applications. The day is full, as well as being a mum. My daughter is my life, but I need to make this work in order for her to...
Let's dive a little bit more into that. What's the relationship like between you and your daughter? Because a lot of mothers, it kind of holds them back because they have to spend more time on a child. And it's like, tomorrow, or when my son or daughter gets to a certain age, then I'm gonna start.
A lot of my peers are like that.
How did you just say, you know what, I'm gonna make it work? What advice would you give to the young mothers out there? Just
obviously,
go for it.
Being a mum, it's a full-time job. Yes, that's true.
And it's harder than any full-time job.
It is 100%.
I mean, I'm not a mum myself,
but you're a dad. It's similar, but like obviously the dad gets to go to work and stuff. Where I'm with her all the time. Obviously, before she started nursery, I had to write in between her naps, like, oh God, and and then and then you'd be the mom and stuff. What I would encourage any mom is that, yes, you're a mom, but you still have to have a career and find time to do your hobbies or whatever you like. Luckily for me, my partner, he's just like me. He's just as ambitious as me. We know we've got goals. These are our goals. How are we going to work it? Okay. So when I know ahead of time, this is what I want to do, we just juggle it. We're a real great team, to be fair. And my job requires me to I would be like, as soon as my boyfriend gets home from work, I'm calling the cast, let's go and do a couple of scenes, and then I'm off. This is a sacrifice you have to make. It doesn't mean you're filming all year round, but if I know I'm doing Growing Pains and we need to get those 10 episodes done, then for a couple of months, your schedule's just a bit all over the place. She's always going to come first. I have a great support system, my family. She can go to her nan, her dad, her cousin for a few hours while I'm filming. But I do think it's very important that mums find what they want to do and don't just get sucked into mum life. There's more to the world. You're trying to create a place and income for your children to live a better life. So why would you just be a mum and that's it? It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe I'm too ambitious, I don't know.
You've done it. What's
so
your view on the ladies who want to see the career blossom first before they have kids?
Okay. Do you know what? Funny enough, I was like, do you know what? When you're young, you think, for me, I used to live for the weekend. I just used to get my money at the gym and then go raving all weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, Friday, but there's no right time.
Friday, Saturday,
Well, I was
Sunday.
young. I didn't have any responsibilities.
I'm just saying that because I remember those days.
Exactly. And it was fun.
Yeah.
But now I'm cool. I'm all right to retire and hang up my raving shoes. But my thing is that there's no right time. So if you have a child first, I feel like if I was younger, I don't know if I would be mentally as strong as I am. So, respect to all the young mums, because I don't know how they're doing it. And, some of them are doing it alone. Again, I don't have that. So I can only tell you from my point of view that when I gave birth 3 years ago, I had a bit more maturity about me. Like I said, my partner, he's very just like me. Just because we've got a child doesn't mean life stops. And that's what a lot of people tried to tell me when I was pregnant, that your life, you won't be able to do much. That's it. It's like, no, you can still do stuff. The child doesn't stop your whole life. It might slow you down a bit, or you've got to just navigate around certain things. But if there's an event, I will be there.
Any regrets so far in your career or your life decision making?
No. I think if I didn't start the way I did, I wouldn't have experienced half of the things. Yes, I went into it very naively, which looking back, I'm like, oh my God, season 1, I just cringe now. But
do you watch it?
I don't watch it. No.
You can't watch it?
I jumped to season 2.
You can't watch it?
It's just a bit cringe. But it wouldn't have given me the tools I have now.
It's funny you say cringe, because I'm sure at the time, this is the one.
I thought it was sick. Yeah, I did. But no one, in my circle, nobody was really doing film. Obviously now I've met so many people and so many writers. Even my writing has developed so much. What you think might sound like a normal conversation when you're writing it, when it's said out loud, you're like, oh God, maybe not. But I've got a lot of friends now in the industry that I can go to them and, show them my script, or I feel comfortable to show them, and they'll be like, give me feedback. You kind of need a little tribe in the industry as well, because my friends that are outside of the industry, they're going to think everything I do is amazing. Okay, maybe not amazing. They'll tell me if it's rubbish, but, it's just good to have certain people in the industry that you can trust and just bounce ideas off of.
I'm with you. Any questions from the audience, JB? You got any questions as a filmmaker film inspiring?
No, he doesn't have any.
I'm not really involved in this.
No, because last time I did 3 times actually. Because do you know what? You should have asked. You know,
look, he asked and you didn't even have any.
Opportunity now.
It's okay if he doesn't. It's totally fine.
I think wait till after.
No, well, we want to get on camera so people can hear it.
Writing process.
The writing process.
Your writing process.
My writing process.
You see?
I've got loads of questions.
I knew how to ask questions because it's like, she's in, because he's trying to get into films.
So my thing is, the writing process.
So what is your writing process when you be writing the third Growing Pains, third season?
Okay, Growing Pains is very different because there's so many characters, and like that's the thing. When I started Growing Pains, because of what people was telling me about, once you have a child, that's it. I only thought season 1 that was it. So when I had to carry on, I was like, oh God, I didn't really think about character development the way I think about it now. So for me now, when I write, it's very different. I'm more mature now as well. That was like a bit of a younger version of Tash. Now we're more mature. I want to talk about more things that really affect us as like when we're going between 20s and 30s, you know. When I'm writing, I might think of a topic that I feel like really needs to be brought to attention, and I can't even think now. Let me think. Okay, so at the minute we just finished a feature film on like a revenge story. So I kind of work backwards to like how I know I want it to end and work backwards. It's quite every single thing is different.
That's kind of what I wanted to know.
What if I go backwards?
Do you have a process?
Yeah.
All of them? Or
they're all different, okay. I would say. I think it depends as well if it's a series or if it's a film. I do feel like films are just kind of like ABC. The series, it's got it's just different.
So now, okay, let's go back to your baby. Growing Pain first season.
I thought you meant my actual baby.
Sorry, your second baby.
Yeah.
Second baby.
Okay, Growing Pains. Mm-hmm.
Season 1, you just wrote that because you didn't foresee season 2.
Yeah, that's right.
Season 2, you're like, okay, we could do this now.
Yes.
Now moving forward, how many are you writing till the 10th season, or are you still going to write season by season? Okay,
so again, before COVID, I stopped Growing Pains at season 3, thinking that was it. A lot of the cast they're older as well. They've got more children than me. They've got lives. They've got other projects and stuff like that. So it's a bit harder now. Now as well, you know, you're asking these people to not work for money, you know, stuff like that. It kind of, I feel like Growing Pains, it catered to a younger audience. I was making grown 30-year-olds try and act 10 years younger. It's only so far that you can do that. As well, I think that the storylines that I used before were very hood-like. And now I'm at a stage where I'm like, I don't even want to keep watching things about this. Let's talk about other stuff. There's so many other topics to explore. So I'm going to keep writing Growing Pains until the wheels fall off. But I would like if Growing Pains was able to develop and go onto TV and get a development deal. That's where I'm trying to go.
What is a development deal?
So where like a channel will take it, so a production company will take it and make it more marketable to go on, for example, Channel 4, BBC 3, etc. And make it like, change it to make it its best and make people really enjoy it when it's on that kind of platform. They'll put it on at a specific time for a specific audience.
I'm going to ask another controversial question. Please don't be mad at me. Do you believe you get more work or less work that you're a female?
I get less.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's just ridiculous. Definitely less. I think as well, I look really young. I look younger than my age.
You actually do?
I mean, we don't need to tell my age. I look younger than my age. I'm a woman and I'm a black woman. I'm working against a lot, you know. When I was, you know, when I'm on set, a certain sets, let's say, I do feel like you are often judged or you're perceived as, you know, it's really hard. I do feel like I'm having to work twice as hard to be heard. Now
that you're there, because what's interesting is you thought once you get on set, because I'm sure at this point when you first started off, you didn't think the fact that you're a black, young looking female, young female as well as young, those things will have an impact on you being on set. Now that you've been there, you're experiencing them, what can other females trying to follow your footsteps do to bypass those situations before they even get there?
I don't know if you can. Like, you're going to be judged just based on what you look like and your name. I just feel like you have to command, like, show that you can do the job, turn up on time, like, just be professional. And you, like, once you do a good job, that will get passed around and your name will speak for itself. And that's totally what I'm doing. So when people hear it's Filmmaker Tash, they know that I'm coming with a certain level of professionalism, a certain quality. And like, when I'm there, I don't mess around. Like, I might look quiet, but when we need to get the job done, it's time to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, I experienced that firsthand today. She is not messing around.
Oh, but yeah, so that's what you got to do.
No, that is amazing. What advice would you give a young, not female, not just a young filmmaker aspiring to become a filmmaker? What advice would you give them?
Set a plan and then take the steps towards that. I think don't get distracted, and I've got distracted a couple of times. I think when you look at your peers and how you might think their career is going a bit faster than yours, or you doubt yourself because something's happening, you don't know what that person's been through. You don't know where they've come from. Everybody's journey is theirs. So my thing is just stay tunnel vision to your goal, and that's it. That's my advice.
Oh, yeah, that's a plan. Let's say...
I think I've done more in 3 years than some people that is like, I've met some people who have been doing this a long time, and they're like, oh, you got your stuff on Amazon Prime. I'm like, yeah, I didn't think it was that hard. But everybody's different.
You know, it's amazing what people think is hard to actually what is hard.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people judge from a distance.
Yeah.
That's why they think it's hard. But if they do it, they'll be like, oh.
And you know, sometimes you just got to research, because I could have put my own stuff on Amazon Prime. It's research.
Because you thought it's too far of a reach.
Exactly. But don't get me wrong, like, now people, they DM me and they say, how'd you get your stuff on Netflix? If I could, I would have. So it's not like, sometimes you just got to, it's a business. You have to learn the business. Yeah. And then just take each step.
No, that is amazing. What is coming out? What are we looking forward to next from Filmmaker Tash?
So I had, the mentor that I had at EastEnders, I'll be following him to...
Hold on, so the EastEnders that's coming out in about 25 days from now?
No. So that's what I mean. That was
the Corona Christmas. The Corona Christmas, yeah. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So I have a great relationship with him now. He contacts me about his short films and asks me for my help, which is great. So we've got a great relationship, and now I'll be following him to Hollyoaks in March.
Just getting that Hollyoaks money, guys.
I mean, that Hollyoaks, that's my dream. Like, Hollyoaks, I told you, it's my favourite soap. So to be on Hollyoaks, I can't wait to go on the set. So Hollyoaks is coming up, but for me and my personal projects, I've written so much during Corona.
Yeah.
But like I said, because I'm really focused on television formats, so that's like 60 minutes, a series, so either 6 or 8 episodes, I've been writing non-stop. So I'm at the stage where I'm pitching at the moment. I will be filming Growing Pains season 4 soon.
Can I catch Francis in there?
Yeah, as the gangster, not a pastor, a gangster, and
Pastor Toby's son.
Yeah, so there's a few things coming out. I've written a few feature films that I'm trying to get funding for. So there's a lot behind the scenes going on. So people are normally used to seeing me on the gram being quite active. I've taken kind of a step back.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing more work behind the scenes, and then when you see me, it's going to be big news.
It's already big news.
Come on, that's it, that energy.
So let's touch on something, feature film. What is a feature film? I mean, I know what a feature film is, but I had to learn I learned when we was on set.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So a film longer than like 40 minutes.
There you go.
Yeah. So the films that I've written is like an hour and a half,
You said something very interesting. You said, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking to do what she does, please don't think you're going to write your first thing and pitch it for television. Start small.
Yeah, I agree with
that. Right? Don't. That's high level 10. Yeah. Keep to level 1, please. You said that if you can tell your story in 8 to 12 minutes, you can write a 1 hour's film.
Yeah.
Explain that concept.
Okay, so earlier you said you've written something for 8 minutes, and you kind of like downplayed yourself. Just because it's 8 minutes doesn't mean it won't bang. Like
it's gonna bang.
It is, of course it is. No, like basically, if you can get your story across in a short amount of time, imagine what you could do when it's like an hour. You can take your time and develop a bit more and make the characters do, more, and you can move before you get to the climax. So what I'm saying is the fact that you're able to tell a story in 8 minutes, that's really good.
Never thought
I'm more
of it
impressed
like
than anything, because 8 minutes is a short amount of time.
Not when I was writing. I mean, I'm not even writing it. I'm like, what do we do now? Where do we go now? But we're working on that.
Mm-hmm. One of my short films actually was a scene from my feature. So it was called First Impressions. You can find it on YouTube. And it was about racism. And because of the whole, what we went through in Corona, BLM, I thought, let me write something. So I wrote a feature film about racism. And then I took a scene out of there about when a mum meets her daughter's black boyfriend for the first time. And it turned out to be like 8 minutes. But it said the whole story in those 8 minutes, really. But
that's like a trailer for
the big thing. Exactly. Yes. That's why I kind of did it, because when I'm pitching for and getting money, you show them that sample. So, for example, another way, I don't know if people, I know I'm talking a lot, but basically, like when you want to get money or you're trying to pitch your stuff, it's always helpful to do like a sample scene. And that shows like a snippet of your whole idea. Some people are not going to sit and read your script that is 90 pages. So, some people are more visual people. For me, I'm not joking. If you gave me your script, I'd probably be like, oh God, I've got to sit here. I've got a lot going on.
Don't send
me the script. But if you was to send me like a sample scene, and I might be like, oh, that looks all right. I can kind of get his vision, kind of understand her vision a bit more. So a lot of people are doing sample scenes now. That is like, I don't know if it's a new thing, but it's in my people that in the industry, everyone's doing a sample scene and then sending that everywhere with their pitch deck or their treatment, which are like pieces of paper with all the information of whatever your idea is about. And then you add your sample scene, send it out and see what happens.
You see, everything just explained, you know how complicated and long that sounds.
But that's the thing, it's not. And another thing, I don't know why more people don't talk about it. I've met loads of people. It's like this, everyone's trying to move in secret. For me, honestly, like I've had to learn all this stuff and it's not that hard once you know what to do. A sample scene, like you could just take a camera, okay, they understand it's not going to be 4K and it's not going to have the best, but it's a sample scene. It's a sample of your idea. So they're not going to judge you based on, not judge you like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's true. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
However we finish this show now, because it's moved this side, is you look into that camera, you close it anyhow you want, give them some advice, sing, write a script in person if you want to, or act out a scene.
I'm not going to act out a scene.
Have you ever been in a film yourself? Have you ever featured or anything?
I am the worst actress in the world.
Really?
I would hate it. And my memory from remembering lines is awful, so I wouldn't be very good. Yeah, I would be the worst actor. But I was thinking my new thing in 2022, I might feature, like, you'll always see me somewhere in my film.
Who does that? Who used to, what?
I don't know who
passed
does
away.
that.
Who used to do that? You should know, JB, who used to do that? Marvel
guy, but you know who does it better? Quentin Tarantino.
Yes, Quentin Tarantino does that.
I was thinking about that. It's a good one.
Yeah.
I might just appear as like, I don't know, something in the background, like mysterious. Like.
Yeah. There you go. Anyway, it's your show. Close it.
No, like, thanks for having me on the show. Please check out.
Look, please. We thank you for coming on the show.
Okay, no problem. Okay. So check out my short film, Time to Collect. That's my latest film. Everything is on my YouTube channel, Eclipse Entertainment. And that's it. DM me, message me. I'll give advice where I can. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, all right. So we're going to keep the closing format the same. If a lady can do what she does, just go into the unknown, follow her dream, follow what she really loves doing. Later on, find out that she's carrying precious cargo within her, gives birth, and still carries on doing what she's doing. She learnt, and that has led her to working on the likes of EastEnders, moving to Hollywoods. She's working with so many people in the background that you have no idea. If she can do that without any plan, imagine what you can do with a plan. Till next time, love, peace, and happiness. Thank you.
That was good. I like the way you ended that. And that wasn't even planned.
No, so